Hello, good evening, and welcome back. Here we have an age-old question of why does the vocal left always choose to have career criminals as their actors who are so-called heroes, so-called good people that they wish to rally behind and say, oh, something bad happened to them because they're black and not because they're a bad person. And here we have another lovely example. A man paralyzed after being shot by police with a taser weapon vows to get justice. Jordan Walker Brown from London says officers stopped him because he is black. So what happened? Well, a young black man from North London who has been left paralysed from the chest down after being shot by police with a taser weapon as he jumped over a wall has spoken out for the first time about his injuries and determination to hold officers to account. So it's very interesting that we see, of course, ban the taser, end stop and search. Stop and search, of course, helped to reduce fatalities within the black community. It is actually helping to show that Black Lives Matter. Funny that it does actually protect the black community because I guess they can't be trusted to protect themselves. And ban the taser. Well, I thought we heard very recently, of course with Garrett Wolf being charged with felony murder, that the taser is not a threatening weapon and it's non-lethal and not going to be causing any harm whatsoever. Hence the shooting was a felony murder. But no, apparently the taser is just as bad. So, essentially, the man ran from the police, was climbing over a wall when he got shot by a taser, fell down, and was paralysed from the chest down. Which is a terrible thing to happen to anybody. So, why would the police do this? Well, they say, he turned 24 on Monday, as it happens, said he had his back to police and was running away when he was shot with a stun gun on 4th of May. He said he was running because he was carrying a small amount of cannabis. So it was a criminal. Bad enough to be paralysed? No, of course not. Should you be running from police? No. Why did police target him though? Was it because he was black? Well, he said he was stopped by Metropolitan Police officers from the Territorial Support Group on 2 consecutive days last month, 3rd and 4th of May. Both times he was carrying a small amount of cannabis for personal use. He knew officers had the right to stop him if they believed him to be in possession of drugs. He says, however, I also know that I would not have been the subject of any police attention on either day if I had not been a young black man. Well, we'll get into that, because that is blatantly not true. So he says he ran from police because he had a small amount of cannabis in my possession for personal use. Because the similar encounter, the previous day he was arrested, he says mistreated and charged for possession of a similar amount of cannabis. So, 3rd of May, he had been put into a TSG van where he says was mistreated, held in a police cell for several hours and charged with possession of cannabis before being released. 2nd day, they saw him again, went, seems like you've got cannabis on you again. Let's see. Then they ran. They thought, shit. This guy could be a threat to public. If he's then concerned he's going to be sent to prison for longer, who knows, he could take hostages, who knows where else he's going to, and then will be in danger as well. Let's detain him now, a non-lethal weapon, taser, so that we can subdue him and then arrest him. So that's why. So it wasn't because he was black. But what about the first time? Was it because he was black? Well, I've done a bit of digging, and as it happens, the name Jordan Walker Brown isn't a very common name. Jordan Walker Brown, of course, here is from Tottenham, and he's 24 now. So if we look back through the East London and West Essex Guardian from the 13th of March 2015, so 5 years ago, but bear in mind he's just turned 24 on Monday, so this week, so then seeing as this was March, he would have been, therefore, either younger, that we have Jordan Walker Brown, 18 of Tottenham. And this is a quarter man and a tooting teenager have been charged by detectives investigating people trafficking and kidnap. So they say the pair were arrested along with 15 others in London, charged with false imprisonment by the police. All 6 men charged appeared in custody in Westminster Magistrates Court between March 6th and March 7th, remanded in custody to appear at Southwark Crown Court on March 20th. Right, so Jordan Walker Brown, 18 of Tottenham. A couple of years later, so we've got 1st of June 2017. They say that there was a drugs gang sentenced to 41 years and 3 months imprisonment. The police op follows a drug supply gang, organised crime network who flooded Cornish towns with Class A drugs, transported from London, have been jailed for a total of 44 years and 5 months. Of this, 3 years and 2 months is suspended. Okay. So the gang from North London made numerous trips to Cornwall between 1st September 2015 and 19th of October 2016, bringing significant amounts of crack cocaine and heroin. The drugs were delivered to local dealers who helped distribute them into various Cornish towns, including Bodmin, Austell, Camden, Penzance and Truro. Yep, okay, cool. So, the sentencing here, that they include the rest of the gang, and they say Jordan Walker Brown, 20, of Tottenham, who had all previously pleaded guilty to conspiracy to supply Class A drugs. And the jailing, Walker Brown for 3 years, which was 3 years ago. Okay, starting to add up now, and this was for drug-related offences. Bear in mind also that they mention a lot of what they were doing was cuckooing, which is using somebody's home as the drug supply. You could almost say it's false imprisonment. So say members of the London-based gang were on hand to attend Cornwall at short notice and resolve any financial disputes with customers and sub-dealers for the Cornwall-based associates, using violence if necessary. And as they say, the sole purpose of this group's criminal activity was to make money, and in order to achieve this, they preyed on vulnerable members of the Cornish communities by cuckooing their homes in order to deal drugs from. Right, false imprisonment, which is, again, the charge levied against the man here. Okay, and that was 2 years prior. And then he went to jail for 3 years. And even got photos of him here. Jordan Walker Brown. So again, you decide if it's the same Jordan Walker Brown, who was from Gospatrick Road in Tottenham. And as they go on to say as well, they've got Jordan Walker Brown, 20, from Tottenham, jailed for 3 years, conspiracy to supply. So then Jordan Walker Brown as well here, that it seems that if he was known to police from Tottenham for drug offences, it wasn't that he was a black man, it was that he was a career criminal. So obviously we don't want anyone to say, that as he dropped 6 foot and was paralysed for it, that we don't want that to happen to anybody. But trying to suggest it was because he was black is blatantly not true. And Walker Brown's sister, Sharon Brown, said that the police appear to be trigger happy with tasers when it comes to black people. My brother's in hospital, paralysed. Jordan has a family, and I can promise the police his family will do whatever is necessary to ensure that he receives justice. Well, it seems like a bad person to have a family with. The lawyer, Reggie Batt of Batt Murphy Solicitors, said Jordan said he was slipping in and out of consciousness as he lay on the ground after his fall. He recalls that he felt a knee in his back and his arms were even handcuffed behind his back before he was dragged to his feet, even though he was saying repeatedly he couldn't move his legs. Well, that's kind of the point of a taser, is that you can't really move. So that wouldn't be a surprise to the police. According to Home Office figures, police officers are almost 8 times more likely to draw their tasers against black people in England and Wales. Their general use rose by 39% last year. Wow! But they're also the most likely to commit violent crime and resist arrest. So it kind of makes sense. And go on to other statistics here. But I just really want to hammer home the point that, yet again, they've picked a guy, Jordan Walker Brown in this case, to go, he was a great guy, now he's paralysed and it's so unfair, he just had a small amount of cannabis for personal use. Well, he was arrested and charged the day before. It was for exactly the same crime. He'd been in prison for 3 years, and had been charged before that a couple of years prior for doing the same thing. So he seems to have been in this drug world for his entire adult life. Why is this someone that you wish to put at the forefront of your movement? Again and again and again, every example they pick is somebody who is a criminal. Not even close to being a saint. Does it show systemic racism? Not even close. And if I can do this, journalism, then why can't journalists who are paid? Really gets the noggin jogging. But as always, until next time, have a good one.